Hello, class. I'm Dr. Hazeltine. I'm your professor, and I just wanted to give you a little insight into who I am. I think that's always helpful for students to know who it is they're working with, a little bit about their background. So this is just a brief biographical introduction to me, give you a sense of where I'm coming from, what's important to me. So one thing that I should mention is that my dad was U.S. Army colonel, West Point graduate. My brother was a West Point graduate. We actually have military going all the way back to the Revolutionary War. But the point of that is that we traveled around a lot. So I went to schools in various U.S. states. He was stationed in Berlin, Germany, went to school there for a year. I also went to a British boarding school in Switzerland for 2 years. I looked it up the other day. It's in the top 10 list of most expensive schools in the world. So he paid an arm and a leg for me to be there. I got in a lot of trouble, was nearly expelled, but that's another story. But I have seen education from a lot of different perspectives. After I graduated high school, went to college north of Boston, Gordon College. You may be familiar with that. Then I ended up in Canada back in 1973 and was there till 2007. Graduated from the University of Saskatchewan, went to Briarcrest Bible College for a year, came down to the States, did my master's at Grace Theological Seminary, and eventually got my doctorate through Walden University online program. So I identify with you when you're working online. So I've seen American schools, British schools, and Canadian schools. I've seen boarding schools and day schools, Christian schools, secular schools, Bible college, seminaries, online universities, on-ground universities, community college, K-12. I have taught in split grades, 2, 3, 4. I taught grades 3 through 12 in one room at one point. So virtually every educational institution known to man at some point. So it's given me a broad perspective. And one of the reasons why I use a different grading system, so you know, is that the toughest school that I ever attended was Eglon College in Switzerland, and A was 75%. The easiest school was my top-ranked high school in Arlington, Virginia, and A was 93%. It really doesn't matter what the percentages are. Professors always grade with a normal curve in the back of their mind. Outstanding work is an A. What's an A? 75%? Fine. Then you will have a hard time doing much better than 75%. It'll be the exceptional student that gets up there. Alberta, Canada, where I lived for many years and started a school, led it for many years, A was 80%. And Alberta, Canada at the time had one of the top educational programs in the world. So the percentages are not so relevant. The letter grades tell you something. A is excellent. B is good. C is okay. Okay, that kind of thing. So that's the grading. I do take a little bit different approach to it. Don't use the rubrics much because I find that they have an artificial sense of accuracy, but they're as subjective as anything else. They're a useful guide to students sometimes, but I don't use them as a grading tool. I have over 40 years of experience in education. I've read thousands of papers, so I know an excellent paper when I see it, and I'll give you a fair grade. So we traveled around. That was my point there. Seen a lot of different schools, experienced education from a lot of different perspectives. I know what good schools can be. The school that I led in Canada for 20 years, we were on the front page of the papers when we left as one of the top performing schools in the province. Alberta was the top in Canada. Canada was one of the top in the world. So I've seen high-level education both in Switzerland from Eglon College as well as the Airdrie School that I led in Alberta. So it takes a lot of work to get there. And I encourage you in your venture here because I know in my own experience getting a master's degree was one of the most important things that I did. It really helped me to get good handles on what it meant to lead a school into real quality, into real excellence. And it takes time and it takes effort and it takes passion. So commend you for what you're doing here. It's a challenging field, especially these days. It's not getting any easier, that's for sure. So I want to be there to support you. Always glad to share my perspective and experience. I've dealt with all kinds of students. I've taught every grade from the youngest grade I taught for a full year was second grade science, and I'm just finishing up a doctoral course as I do this seminar today. So I've taught everything in between, and I have pretty good comfort levels in all subject areas. Taught, yeah. So glad to chat with you about any experiences you are facing in your school setting. I usually have some perspective or can point you in the right direction. Other things to know about me in terms of my present environment, I just retired in 2019 from K-12 administration after being in K-12 education for most of my career. I've done some community college teaching. I've been teaching for Cornerstone for 12 years as an adjunct, taught for Grace Bible College, taught for community college in Saskatchewan. So a lot of different experiences there, but I'm out of the K-12 system full-time now and enjoying retirement, enjoying continuing to work with people like yourself who are involved in education at a higher level. You are the people that are going to be influencing the teachers in the classroom who are going to be influencing the kids. And so together, we're changing the world one student at a time because of the leadership that we offer. So I'm excited that you're part of this program here at Cornerstone and that I get to work with you. I am married happily to my wife, Kathy. We were married back in 1975, so a long time. We have 5 kids, 4 boys, took a 10-year break, had a daughter. And so they are spread around the world a little bit, several of them. My oldest and second son, Jonathan and David, are here in Grand Rapids. My daughter Mariah is here. You look up Mariah Hazeltine. She's done some really nice music. You might enjoy it. My son Michael is in Texas. He's a counselor down there. And my son Stephen is in Thailand. So we're spread around a fair bit. Don't get to see everybody as much as we would like. But we love them all. I've got 6 grandchildren and enjoy getting together with them, obviously. So that's a little bit about me. I am always available by email, and if we need to chat by phone, I'm glad to do that as well. And if you need to have a Zoom meeting or something like that, we can do that also. I hope that you find this course really helpful to you and you get a lot out of it. Feel free to contact me if you ever need any assistance. God bless you.